Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, and our brother C-Gutta. C-Gutta, how you feeling, bro?
What's good? What's crack on?
Everything smooth. We want everybody who's tapped in, tuned in. Yo, do us one big favor. Hit that like button. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so every time we go live, you will know. It's been a minute, right, Gutta? We had some family issues, personal issues.
Yeah, some physical issues.
No doubt, no doubt.
I'm official old man now. I done broke my hip.
Or,
Yeah,
I know, but
yeah.
I'll let you
I'm officially in the old man brigade now. They got a fake hip.
But look, FYI, still don't run up. Don't play with them. Don't play with them now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Queen, the Noosa. Shout out to
Oh,
our
we gonna have some equalizers.
yeah. A lot's been going on, man. What you got planned for the Memorial Day, Gutta?
I don't. It was just big birthday the other day, so
Yeah, no
that's
doubt.
what I'm
Happy
gonna do.
belated day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dudes always celebrate, but the celebration don't be what the celebration be for.
Right. What do you mean by that? Clarify for the people.
Most of the time in the hood, dudes celebrate. You got these holidays that these patriotic holidays when dudes don't really celebrate because of that.
Right.
It be mostly a lot of people get weekends off, get them days off.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, they can be with their family and stuff like that. Like you got some people that's really into it, but for the most part.
So for you, somebody who literally grew up with big, lived with big, travel with big, for you it's different. Do you think that people do these celebrations just to keep the legacy alive and the next generation will know who he is so he's never forgotten?
Well, everybody gonna get forgotten. Gotta remember that. It just matter how long people, because this is, you gotta remember, this is music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He impacted lives on the music tip. So, everybody is the greatest in their generation. And then, know how that shit go. I think he'll stick around for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him and Pac, because they had an impact in that era.
You know what? I would take it in the world because you got people who didn't really care.
No. That's what I'm saying. Is like
Right.
they had but I mean musically, like
Yeah.
as far
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. They outside of the music shit is like that's what most people is remembered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was the little conflict and all that, but like as far as the music, the impact they had on the music tip, you know what I mean? It's gonna be more people that like really remember that.
Yeah. Above and beyond anything.
Yeah.
All the good things they did, the
Yeah,
people they
because people is always. I think it's gonna be generations that still take a snippet of something they said and put it in a song, so it's always gonna be around.
right. Always relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, because we here for an hour today. We both got stuff to do after this. Yo, there's so much to unpack. I mean, I don't want to go into it, but I do want to skim over so much. I mean, we got the Memorial Day weekend right now. I always like to recognize the OGs that came before us, dudes who really put in work. Our veterans. Our
Yeah,
veterans.
that's what I'm saying. It'll like will be like for us. We're not thinking like on a large on the scale that most of these Caucasoids go by.
Right.
Because they include everybody. Like
Yeah.
we not including certain motherfuckers. We not honoring them.
And you know what's crazy, Gutter? Because doing my research some years ago, I learned that Memorial Day was started by Black people to honor the Black people that fought in the wars that were forgotten, that weren't recognized. But again, they adopted, put their twist and spin on it, and you almost forget that it was us celebrating us for us.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. We were
Yeah,
celebrating
that's what I'm saying.
us.
I'm in
We were
agreement.
celebrating, you know what I mean? We were celebrating our accomplishments because nobody else would. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that we celebrated on our own. Because nobody else recognized none of any of our accomplishments. So we made these days ourselves.
right. Even Dr. King birthday, before Dr. King birthday was a
That's what I'm
holiday.
saying.
I remember we stayed home.
No, my mom's definitely. I never went to school.
Right.
Like, and that was before. Like, I remember when the law was passed. I was still in school. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how old I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, I remember. I
But
remember the song.
I was still in school when the law passed. So but even before that, we wasn't going. That was just something. You know what I'm saying? My mom's did.
Yeah.
It might not have been. I'm not gonna say it's widespread, but you had it. Like it wasn't like a real small minimum either.
Yeah.
Especially when the fever started coming out. You know what I'm saying? As like the more groundswell started coming out,
Yeah.
even the like it was parents that I lived in the South. So they putting pressure on you know what I mean.
Politicians and people, the
So
lawmakers.
I'm just saying, like, it's like the school boards and all that is they try to put everything politics and all that shit. So they'll try to pressure motherfuckers, but like once that groundswell started, and then like the one like, all right, when I lived in Mount Bayou, all my teachers was black. You know what I'm saying? But in Tunica, we had a couple of white teachers, but majority of them was black. You know what I'm saying?
So everybody shared the
So
same sentiment.
yeah, like they was like, yo, y'all don't like, you know, if y'all, if y'all feel like y'all don't want,
Want
shit
to be
like
here
that.
or
Yeah,
just chill for the day.
yeah, like, and they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So like principles and all of that is like, it's only when I got to Cleveland and Clarksdale, because I went to county schools
Okay.
where it was mixed, where like, you know what I mean? But it was already passed by then. By the
Yeah.
time I was in high school, it was passed. You know what I'm saying? So this is elementary and junior high school where the majority of my teachers was
Was
black.
black.
Even though we had some, like we had a couple like coons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love America type of Negroes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the majority. You know what I'm saying? The majority, even if they wasn't like outspoken, like
Right. They still knew what time it was and stayed
yeah,
on.
yeah. They gave us our history in a way that we get it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But
It's like they even when they was teaching us shit about, because like I said, we had civics. So in civics, you learn about the state you live in. So even when they was talking about, the state of Mississippi, they was, our black teachers was letting us know, the real too.
the real history, yeah. Our story.
Yeah. So, you know,
Gutta,
what
you said something. You said groundswell, because I definitely want to talk about the burning plantations and the rebellions on the continent. But the groundswell about reparations, we see that happening right now. We see a lot of that going on. And I want to tie that into the plantation burnings, right? But I got two questions for you, right? You either share your thoughts or say no comment. All right. The Joe and Jada podcast. Thoughts.
um Kiss gonna have to withstand a lot of lying. You no, like in my like, come on, man. This dude, like, you don't gotta over exaggerate everything, my nigga. Like you could tell, it's like, homie, it's like a certain shit you could tell. It's like, come on, my nigga. It's like,
Right.
Like you don't have to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand. Like, stop trying to make like y'all bringing them from an era of dudes saying keeping it. You know, we come from an era where dudes basically like if you lying, like niggas is on your line.
Right.
You know what I'm
And they're
saying?
gonna let you live it down.
Yeah. So, bro, like, stop trying to sensationalize. That's what it is. You try to sensationalize everything when everything it could be humorous without you even sensationalizing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's humorous just so how real it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because that's where you get your audience for real, if you ask me.
Nah, you 100% right.
You know what I'm saying? You
I
get
think a lot of people
you get your because if you could show a side of humor and humility, then people could tap in with you. You know what I mean? Without that, it's like,
instead of getting all this pushback.
yeah.
Right. Shout out to our sister K Fighter on the check-in. Yeah. That was one question, right, Gutta? The second one. Your thoughts? No comment. The trial so far.
I ain't even follow that shit. Oh, I didn't got thrown in that shit.
A word?
Yeah, I don't know about the trial. I just know some female
Like
named
YouTube?
Tasha K, yeah, on YouTube that said I was with the free calls. My nigga. I was doing 16 years, so I don't know what she talking about.
Right.
Like, she's wild.
Tasha K put
You know what I'm
yo,
saying?
shout out to Tasha K.
I don't even know who that is. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just got the clip. You know what I'm saying?
She's a huge YouTuber.
Yeah,
She's big. She's up there. But you know, it's to your point, Gutta. A lot of people sensationalize things and just throw people in the mix. What I was bugging at, because Jaguar Wright was throwing everybody away once the trial started until they put her name in it. He's like, oh, and that's what I'm saying. It gets sensationalized because they damn sure said she was at a freak off or two.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
People can say anything they want on the internet now.
that's what I'm saying, my nigga.
Yeah.
That's why that should be funny to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh,
is that shit is funny to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like you'll see some shit that you know is wild.
yeah.
Like they said, she said, call my nigga BK Ruby. First he called him Ruby,
Right.
then said he's the one that introduced Kim Porter to him. And hello, it's like, my nigga.
Knew Kim before the team stepped on the scene. Years before.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's different.
You
And you
know?
know, I think that's the danger of the internet because people could grab a mic and just say what they want to say, and people will buy hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Because somebody has been around and they got certain X amount of viewers, X amount of, subscribers or whatever. And, their agenda is whatever their agenda is, they pushing, people accept wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But, I don't let that shit bother me personally. Like, that's like, because I know that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my dude Victorious too. Me and you gonna talk, Gutter, because he's working on some things and he wants you to be a part of it as well. But of course it's the hip hop things, just to set the record straight with a lot of misinformation that's floating around out here. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much of that. And I think the more people you got that's tapping into you, the more sensational you try to make the story and embellish it, as opposed to just standing on the truth. Because there is a lot of capping going on out here right now.
Bro, that's the internet now. So,
Yeah, because I laugh. I see so many videos with your name in it, and I just chuckle and I laugh. I'll be like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I didn't even know about the Tasha K joint. You get a chance, send it to me so I could get a good laugh out of it. Because I do enjoy her content because I look for it more as entertainment than information. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people that are on the internet, I look at it for entertainment. So I get it why Fat Joe will embellish a story. You know what I mean? One more question. One more question. We're gonna go into our stuff. I don't know if you've been following it. Remy and Pat, thoughts or no comment?
Hold up. Damn.
Oh, somebody hitting you?
Nah. I clicked myself out the fucking place.
Oh, nah, you still
Um,
good.
um I didn't I haven't been following. So I don't know what's going. You gotta update.
Yeah. So Remy and Pat they've been going through it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that she was dealing with Easy the Block Captain. Pat been real silent about it. But recently, Clarissa Shields went on the Breakfast Club. You know, she just mentioned it. She said, you know, we talk about the elephant in the room. I ain't got no problem with Remy, whatever, whatever. Remy just took that and ran with it. Start trying to air Pap out, calling him a bum, the brokest dude she ever went with ever. You know, pretty much saying every dude she ever dealt with had more money. And yo, shout out to Zip with the Drip because he's the craziest. His spiel on it is hilarious. You know, he always gonna keep it a buck. But I think personally, and I've always rooted for Remy and Pap to work they stuff out because whenever a couple's married, it's different than when that's just your girl or you know your shorty. But you know they marry with a child, their families are blended, and she just went on a rant. But then he came back, you know, talking about he wrote some of her raps, some of her biggest songs, and you know I just think it's messy. And for Pap, at least, for me to respect Pap as how he rolled, and I'm always gonna respect Pap because even when I had my 1 year anniversary for my youth group, he came as a keynote speaker, and he didn't have to. You know, I ain't had no money. He did it on the strength. So I
I'm gonna be
always,
honest, like my thoughts with them always been opportunism on both sides. So
mm. So what
that's
did
just
she
my
gain?
thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's just
What you think
like
she did it for?
no, I'm talking about from the beginning.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like they relationship from the beginning. That's just my thoughts. Is it always been built on opportunity.
yeah, yeah. So it's
So
we missed a lot. We missed a lot, but hopefully we come back and cover some more at another time. See how all of this unfolds. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our sister K Fighter. She says, see what happened when you mix the Bronx with Brooklyn. ah, BK and BX is a bad mix, Sister K. She said, don't mix them two boroughs. Yeah. But Gutter, the fires. We seen there was one wildfire, the Arcadia, I believe, plantation down in South Carolina, and then also the Nottaway plantation in New Orleans.
yeah,
What's your thoughts on it?
that's the ancestors.
Ancestors.
I've been saying that. Remember, I've been saying the ancestors have been like cranking lately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, like with every little thing, I just think that's the ancestors and
Ivy.
Yeah, because
people and people coming to the realization that like, and I think like some of it come from the internet, like these little diaspora wars and all that. And then you have a certain set of people that be on like, man, fuck all this, nigga. We all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on that. And then that's why I think the ancestors like, y'all gotta like this shit gotta start rolling. Africa got a foot in the game. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely want to tap into Africa because I don't think, and that's why I brought up reparations earlier to tie it all in because I don't think people understand the spiritual component of what we have done as Black folks here in America, how we literally built this whole country up, and these people have profited because even after the abolishment of our enslavement, they were still making money off the plantation, doing weddings, doing tours, still,
shit, before that, you got to think about it. Sharecropping, my nigga.
yeah.
Like I literally lived where it was sharecroppers.
Mm. So you saw that firsthand, people in the fields.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Getting
Like,
dead on your breath.
I didn't pick cucumbers, I didn't pick cotton. Like I lived in the Delta, my nigga.
Right. And see, that's a different experience because dudes in New York, people from other places don't know how real it is, or they think it's something ancient, Gutter. They think
Yeah,
it's something that
hell
happened so
no.
long ago. Right.
fuck no. How much cotton you can get in that bag and weigh it, that's how much you get paid, my nigga.
Yes.
Little kids was out there, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like
So
I would literally witness a part of that.
Yeah.
And was a part of like we didn't like my older sister, because like we come from New York. The hustler mentality is ingrained in you.
Yeah.
So my sister she going out, she taking all of us. My older sister, which is rest in peace, Stephanie, would take all of us. Nigga, wherever she was going, boo, 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 she get commission from my mom's, and we was out there. That's how we got our little penny candy money and all that.
Yeah. So it's what's crazy, right, Gutta? Because as I was thinking about these plantation fires, I was thinking next month is the 10th anniversary of Dylan Ruth in the Mother Emanuel Baptist Church. And I don't think a lot of people know the significance of Mother Emanuel Baptist Church. And me and our sister Keisha talked about this years ago with Dylan Ruth going, because I believe he did that on June 17th, if I'm not mistaken. But what's so crazy, right, Gutta? That's 189 years to the day, one day off, of Denmark Vesey's rebellion that he plotted at Mother Emanuel Baptist Church. And I think our folks don't know enough of our story to really tie it in. So when we say it's the ancestors, I don't want people to think we talking on some spookism, because with a lot of what's going on right now on the internet, Gutta, they trying to say it's the Annabelle doll. People, I don't know if it's the doll, but I just know there's a spirit of rebellion that exists from
It's
here
like,
to the continent.
like people like, it's crazy because these same people that like stick to this westernized way of thinking be the most superstitious people out there.
Yeah.
So if you so superstitious, why you can't think that the ancestors is doing something good for you? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's what be killing me. It's like, nah, that's like you talking like that's demon worship. But you the most like motherfucker lay a hat on the bed, you're gonna go crazy, you're gonna hit your feet with the broom like they're gonna go nuts.
Right.
But you full-fledged Christian or Muslim. I'd be like, yo, that shit baffles me, my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, we've experienced this. You know it's real.
Very real.
It's like I doubt it's a black person in America that haven't seen some spirits moving.
Whether against them or in their favor. Right.
Like you seen something that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've seen specific people. You dig what I'm saying? But at the same time, everybody might not, see like I see.
Right. Or even tapped in, because some of our folks really reject their own spirituality and their spiritual system. Back to your point, whether they're Christian or Muslim, because even with Denmark Vesey at the AME church, a lot of people don't know AME is for African Methodist Episcopal.
Yeah.
So they tap in the African, the African bloodline.
Yeah, you got African, and then one is Abyssinian, which is the same thing.
Yep.
Because that's what the Arabs call the Ethiopians.
Yep. Talk about it, Gutta.
And if you think of the color of the abyss, when you think of the abyss, it's as dark as you can get. Yeah. That's what the abyss means. So if you are Abyssinian, that means you as black can get.
Right, which now you in the spirit realm, you in time and space. You
exactly, and that's what people don't understand when our ancestors considered ourselves black. It's beyond the sense of complexion. It's to the deepest, like we are from the beginning. Yeah. That's why we will always be immortal.
Right.
And you try to make your name deified by doing things, you know what I'm saying, on the planet that people see our greatness.
Yeah. The word is anthropomorphize, give it human attributes to the spiritual, so you can understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's why the conversation of reparations is so important right now, because we're in the cusp. We seen the first black governor. Somebody help me in the chat. I forget what state it is, but the first black governor, he vetoed the bill of reparation studies. Now, in all fairness, I'm against studies. I want the check. I want the money. I hear some people
Yeah,
say,
who the fuck want to study, nigga? We
like we
already
know,
know what happened.
right? Exactly. We
It's
know.
like,
So what
what
are we
is you
studying?
studying?
What are we studying? Right.
Yeah, like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Excuse my
Westmore,
language,
Baltimore. Thank you,
but
sister.
like, what are we?
Listen,
What are we studying?
and this is what we talk about when we talk about those who are getting in the way of our progress. But I'm glad you used the word groundswell when you was talking about Dr. King, because people didn't think at the time we can have that as a holiday. You know,
Yes,
people
but I mean,
honestly believe we
when we
can't get
start affecting them financially, and that's like people. I don't know what people been studying. You understand in terms of our history here, it's like the marches ain't what did it, bro. Never,
right. It's not.
never. The marches was just a show, or just a show of unity to show the people, like, yeah,
We out here. We
we
outside.
out here, yeah.
We where?
But that wasn't what brought them people to the table. What brought them to the table is when Memphis almost went bankrupt. Them bus joints almost went bankrupt.
Right.
Gotta
And the
remember,
tire company definitely did.
yeah, you got to remember, bro. Tunica is 45 minutes away, so I learned the whole get down with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was people marching going from parts of Mississippi into Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Showing solidarity.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Which we're missing right now. And I'm glad Sister Farnessa said Westmore's from Baltimore and he's of Jamaican descent. I think when we talk FBA, that's the stuff we talking about, because a lot of people don't really have skin in the game when we talk reparations.
Yeah,
They come from
because
a different place and they
yeah,
just glad
because
to be on their side.
yeah, and they all right. Just like homie was saying that even with Garvey,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't experience it as a black American. Now, some places he went, he was a nigga like everybody else.
Right.
But other places, especially in the urban realms, that's how the white dudes got over by shitting on the Americans.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick the West Indian or the African or the black Latino because they know he's not American.
Yep.
So they would use that to get in the way. Not that he wasn't a nigga. He felt, you know what I'm saying? Because he got in, that didn't excuse him from, feeling the brunt of
A
how they
racist.
felt about him. Yeah. But it's still dynamics to it.
Right.
It's
And I
layer, it's still a different layer. You know what I'm
and
saying? Even an African that comes here and experience racism, he's still not going to experience like an American experience. You born and raised in America. Now, African, his parents is African, and he born and raised in America. And he born in a black neighborhood and raised in, yeah, he gonna experience because
right.
he's not gonna be speaking like his mother and father.
And he's gonna get it from daycare on up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna,
Everything.
they're gonna really experience it. The parents not gonna experience it because, like I said, they're gonna put that barrier in order for them to feel like the blacks in America is not doing their part.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's always dynamics with that.
And that's why the ancestors is burning shit up.
Yeah,
As a reminder,
yeah.
the
And
revolutionary spirit don't die.
and this is the thing is it's really motherfuckers our age and older that's getting in the way.
Yeah.
From and I mean from all communities, from the Caribbean, the African, and the
In
African
America.
American community. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? The Black
Yeah.
American, FBA, ADOS, however you want to, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the people of, you know what I'm saying, Black American descent, them is the ones that's getting in the way.
Yeah.
Because the
And
young motherfuckers want to connect, you know what I'm saying? And they all on one accord. You understand what I'm saying? And they understand politics more.
right.
You understand what I'm saying? Whereas, a lot of older people, they lean in some way ideologically instead of, sitting back and let's see, because these is the young motherfuckers that got to do all the groundwork.
Yeah. And who's gonna inherit this shit?
Exactly. So now we can't allow our ideology leanings to stop the whole from doing their thing.
Right. But we
You know what
definitely got to get rid of the ones who's in the way, like
I'm
Westmore.
saying? Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I'm saying. It's like all these because that's the ones that still think that like we can take the system and reshape it piece by nah, that's not gonna work, my nigga.
yeah. Nah. All you do is update it when you think you're changing it.
Yeah, you're not changing nothing.
Just
Give
racism
us
2.0,
yeah, just
2.5,
give us our shit.
and let us do us.
Yeah, and let us do us.
Yeah.
Because we like us having a foundation in the system we know, then we're gonna allow the system to fall apart on its own
Yeah.
while we build our own system.
But, but you brought up a good point. I want to segue to the continent. You talked about the youth and the rebellion. A lot of people in support of Traore, and he's a young person. What he's in
Exactly.
his 30s, right?
37 now.
37.
He started when he was 34. And
Right.
in 3 years over over 20 assassination attempts.
I'm about to say, you've been following a lot of this stuff closely, Gutta, but it's outside of Burkina Faso right now.
Yeah, it's in
You got
Liberia.
rebellions, Liberia.
They having demonstrations in Monrovia. They had a coup in Ivory Coast who was still working with the French. Military said, "Man, we tired of this shit, nigga. You bound down to these motherfucking yakkers. Nah,
Yeah,
we want all our shit." And this dude is an inspiration.
right.
Zambia, they had it. They was in Parliament and trying to figure out how to, he a case study basically
Okay.
on how they can build because they talk about, listen, he took over in the 3 years he took over, he said they have a gold reserve. They didn't have a gold reserve before. That's what the United States was, talking all that bullshit, trying to,
Right.
um they have a surplus of food now of in agriculture.
Which is
And they can at them, like they got the factories that they do all the processing they do in country.
right.
They've they gave away 400 tractors to the people. The people own the land, so they have a vested interest in the agriculture.
Right.
So they farmers and they get paid. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
getting paid from their agriculture, which is feeding the country.
Right. Sister Farnessa said just the
They
other
built
day.
they built an electrical vehicle as well
Yeah, I peeped that.
that's
Sister
able to
Farnessa,
drive on bad roads. So imagine once they get their roads fixed.
yeah. So Gutta, I want you to address this. Sister Farnessa wrote just the other day there was another African nation that applied to join the Sahel. Can't remember what country it was. Do you remember what country it was?
I might have missed that one.
All right.
It may be Chad.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you, is Liberia trying to join?
Well, I think they bucking on their president right now. I don't know what's going on because I don't have no details on. I just know been demonstrations and possible riots.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I know they had shut down the internet in Ivory Coast and they overthrew him.
Now, what was the purpose of shutting down the internet? The people shut it down or the government?
I think the military shut it down so they can catch dude.
Oh, okay.
But they ain't killed dude or nothing. They caught him, and I think it was like a couple days.
Couple of days.
Couple
No
days.
doubt. No doubt. So what do that mean for black people in America? I mean, because we're here as I identify as a foundational black American. Why? Because I'm not from a Caribbean island or nothing, but I still recognize my African bloodline, right? And I got the documents. I do my own family history. So I don't need nobody's book or nobody to tell me who I am. I know who I am, right? But talk to the people about the benefit of a unified Africa and diaspora.
Number one, once we do get our reparations, we're able to, and I'm not saying people should leave.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all. But we're able to help these economies grow and make financial gain.
See, and that's a good point. I think a lot of times when we talk about an African identity, people think we're talking about leaving, running, and there's so much misinformation. I wish we had our sister Brooke on here because who we are as Black people, I think a lot of stuff is being uncovered through history, study, and research. I don't want to study no more about the enslavement of Black people in America or the Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement. We don't need no more studies. We just need compensation because they're not studying about the migrants. They just letting them come in, handing them checks and stuff like that, saying, go about your business, live long and prosper. We're asked for the same compensation, but better because we the ones who built this country. So we don't need any more studies. Everybody know that. However, I think we do need to start unpacking the situation and pulling back layers because, like we discussed, Wes Moore not having a vested interest in Black people in America receiving reparations. And that's because he's not from the soil. It's almost like break it down to hood terms, right, Gutter? It's like if a dude ain't from our block, but next summer he come by way, he's somebody cousin, but he think he got the same relationship his cousin do. But his cousin grew up with us. His cousin's
Yeah.
from here. He's from cross town. He from Queens or something. He may be from Harlem. And
Yeah.
getting familiar with you, may have a relationship with his
That's
cousin.
it.
And
That's a
that's how
quick
we
way
see
to,
a lot of people
quick
ain't
way
from.
to cause problems.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, you know, I'm of the mind like we ain't got to be together, but we got to be together.
right,
You understand what I'm saying? It's like, and I explain it like this: we don't have to, everybody at the cookout and doing this, that, and the third, but we got to be of one mind. Is that we already know how the enemy sees us.
right,
Of course, all of us are not the same,
right.
but we are the same because we all originally come from the same soil. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got to remember, like, and this is what I tell people: it's like, bro, it's only one indigenous people as Black people, because wherever there were the first people, wherever they were at, they were Black people, and their origins stem from the continent. So once we understand that white supremacy, the worldwide system of white supremacy, and that doesn't just mean all these Europeans. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that even have some of our genes mixed up in them, but it's been so long that they hate us because they oppress us in the countries that they live in. Because it's still Black people damn near in every country, my nigga.
Yeah,
Because Black people originated in all these countries,
yeah,
whether it's European, Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, South Asia, wherever you go.
yeah,
So when we understand that, we got to know, all right, once we know, they showing it. So stop trying to be friends with people that's showing you they don't want to be friends. We got our own people that do that.
yeah.
I mean, look
Tony,
look how many Blacks in America, knowing they can get to the front of the line, get a cookie and a pat on the head. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make some financial gain. How easy it is for them to go coon and just be super anti-Black.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's everywhere. So once we understand that we already got that within every nation that where we at, now you know how everybody else feel.
Right. And we got to deal with
You
them
got,
accordingly.
yeah, if you got your kind that don't hate you, you already know how everybody else feel.
Right.
And we don't have no time to be trying to pick out who's an ally unless they showing it through action.
Right. And support. I just want to say something real quick. Sister Farnessa approached it. Brother Darren Muhammad talks about Westmore all the time. Darren Muhammad has a show called State of the City. I encourage anybody, if you can find him, Google him, YouTube him. Darren Muhammad is a very smart brother. If you're familiar with Steve Coakley, Darren Muhammad comes in that vein of thorough
Is
research.
that the light skinned brother?
Who brother Darren Muhammad?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
he got the like the Farrakhan waves.
Nah, not that brother. That's that's
about
Nuri. That's brother Nuri Muhammad.
From St. Louis. He from like Missouri.
Right, Nuri.
All right.
Brother Darren Muhammad is from he's from Baltimore.
Okay.
Brother Darren Muhammad is from Baltimore. Sister Farnessa agree with you 100%. Because what you did say is right and exact, man. We really got to wean out the people. And I think when we talk FBA, right, Gutta, I think that's the part a lot of people miss, because as Black people in America, we seen exactly what you're saying. People come in, they act like they down with us, but then they get a cookie and a pat on the head and run away. But then when you do their background check, you be like, oh, you're not even from the soil, homie. You jumping in the fight you have no knowledge of, and you good with a cookie and a pat on the head. Because for any Black person who say they for Black people, but you get it in the way of Black progress, you're a problem.
It's like that would be like us going and telling the Blacks in Mexico how they supposed to move.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
It's like
if we in Mexico with Black folks,
I can't even speak Spanish. So how can I tell you, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know all of your struggles.
Right.
I just know you got struggles like us.
Right. So my thing is,
you tell me exactly. You tell me what we need to do, and to the best of my ability, I'll do that.
But you take the lead because it's your fight.
That's what anywhere, bro.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm finally glad Africa got skin in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not and we finally seeing it. The young people going through government. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, before Traore, it was Julius Malema, right? South Africa. You know what I'm saying? And he was, because people got to realize African people, even here, always dealt on a socialist level, but being we stuck here, people have minds been transformed into thinking like capitalists. We always was, let me get this, put somebody else on, the whole community eat.
Right.
That's communalism. That's communism.
Right.
Like all people got to do is read and learn the words. Stop reading what somebody else tell you what it is.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because if you understand what the word means, all right, yeah, we've been doing that.
Right. We've been taking care of our community.
Exactly. No matter how it was. Even within the capitalist system, we would still practice communalism. That's when them people like you getting them, you giving out sugar to the first of the month. You know what I'm saying? They coming to get some rice or some, you know what I'm saying? Some oatmeal or whatever it is to tide them over. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the community do. Not to see nobody go hungry.
Right. Everybody take care of each other.
Yeah. So that's what the youth is really, they know the true concept of this, and they like, yo, if you talking, we supposed to be all this, that, and the third. Why is we can't get no jobs? But you got the finest clothes, you get on private jets and all that, and you make this amount of money.
Yeah. We was talking about the gold reserves the other day, Gutta. Me and you, and you was telling me Burkina Faso has increased their gold reserves. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And how long did it take to do that?
The 3 years. They didn't have a gold reserve.
Oh, they didn't even have one.
You got to think all those countries post-colonial times, they had a contract with France where France had to send their gold out to get refined. and France holds it and tells them what to do with their money, and then they print francs. But the francs can't spend in France; they can only spend in those respective countries.
over on the continent.
Yeah. So the Burkina Faso franc can only spend in Burkina Faso. The Ivory Coast franc can only spend in Ivory Coast. Can't spend in France. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So France had to print the money and refine the gold. So they basically was jacking everybody for their gold.
right. You talk about robbery.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but this is what they pencil whipped them.
Mm. I like that. Not pistol whip, pencil whip them.
Yeah, they pencil whipped them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Um.
So then the IMF and the International Monetary Fund and the International Bank, they always do African countries the worst. You know what I'm saying? So they put all these restrictions on the loans and like what you could do. So basically you starve out the country and take what you want.
Yeah. Our sister Farnessa said now Malima is over there in solidarity and marching for alphabet rights. The hats has to be paying for him for that nonsense. Has to be paying him for that nonsense. He knows that's not African culture, but he's pushing it. I was gonna mention that too, Sister Farnessa, that I know Malima is in support of the alphabet rights. But what I find crazy, right, Gutta, is over here in the US, more and more LGBTQIA plus people are speaking against it because they're now recognizing that the group MAP is being put under that umbrella of the alphabet gang, the minor attracted persons, MAP. A lot of people don't know that's what the plus is when they say LGBTQIA plus. Plus is for all these deviants. And I think it's unfortunate a lot of our continental brothers and sisters don't know that this is a Trojan horse. This alphabet thing is a Trojan horse. And we've
Yeah,
been
the child
misfighting
predators.
for a decade. Yeah, yeah. Because these
I
people,
mean, like most of the LGBTQ people, like in my opinion, like this not no fact, but just going by the ones that I know, dealt with a child predator.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of
Can't
people,
speak
even
on all of them. I just said like the ones that I know,
yeah,
that's how they, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's how they, but if
yeah.
you ask me,
No, no, you're right. Because a lot
that's
of
just
people,
the opinion. You know what I'm saying?
talk about
And
that.
all the ones that I know that definitely got preyed on.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy because I think I saw this white lesbian lady the other day. She was against the alphabet community and she was talking about how they use it as a Trojan horse. And that's what's unfortunate because a lot of people I've known who were abused as a child by other people, they talk about that. And a lot of them were against the MAPs, the minor attracted persons, because that's what they call in the pedos now. They're not calling them pedos, just MAP, minor attracted persons. You can look it up and research it, but they're putting it under the umbrella. And the unfortunate part is that they are pushing this on children.
See, I
So
look at
it's
it like this:
it's real crazy.
if you're a freak and that's what you want, like
Yeah.
I
And
don't, I don't understand why you need to be on an organization. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
If you're a dude, you like dudes, like I get, but see, that's what I'm saying is, in my opinion, it was like that was for white dudes, bro. That whole organizing that shit was for white dudes that they can fuck black dudes.
Yeah. Well, that's what Buck Breaker
Where they
was.
can fuck each other and fuck black dudes. You know what I'm saying? No, that in my opinion, that's what I
I know
like.
what you're saying is actually historical fact, Gutter. What
You
you're
know what
saying
I'm saying?
is
That's how I think they
is
like
based in historical fact.
that's why I think that they started they organizing
They did.
because like all right, in our communities, like motherfuckers knew dudes was like that,
Wait a minute. You're right.
but long as you didn't,
Come at dudes and violate
yeah,
body. You kept
we
it to yourself in your
yeah,
community.
we wasn't going around beating up dudes.
Nah, unless you violated the dude. We
Yeah.
wasn't with it.
Unless you did something to you tried a little kid or some shit like that.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is like in my remembrance, because I can't go back further than my age. But I'm saying in my remembrance, it been some dude and some females in the community. You already knew what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't pressing nobody. They wasn't, and 9 times out of 10, you know who they dealt with.
Yep. And they kept it within themselves.
No,
They
but
kept
I'm
it
saying is
internal.
like in the South, they went and found them a white dude or a white woman. If it's a female, I'm just being honest, bro.
Right. Right.
Because unless it was somebody in the community that was sneaking around, I'm quite sure it was a couple of niggas sneaking around, knocking them off or some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying is like as far as him dealing, them niggas would go out of the community, or they might go somewhere I don't know, but
It
like
wasn't a threat and it wasn't in our face as a community.
when I got to the larger towns like Cleveland and Clarksdale, because Tunica didn't have the riverboat casinos and all that shit when I was living down there. That shit was a stoplight, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You see a Kroger and the Freds. you see the truck stop, the Kroger and the Freds, my nigga, and you through Tunica.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
like Elm City in North Carolina.
so
It's one stoplight.
yeah, so when I got to the larger towns and you start seeing the dudes, that's who you see them with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They in the car acting like but
They with them
oh
boys.
shit.
Yeah. And that's the problem I had with Bayard Rustin when they try to tie Bayard Rustin into the civil rights movement and with Dr. King, because Bayard Rustin was an open flamer who had a boyfriend named Walter Nagel who was way younger than him. And one of the things they keep out of the media when they discuss Bayard Rustin is that he was arrested twice for being with underage white teenagers. At least twice. Twice that is documented. you know. So this is why when we unpack our story, because a lot of things you said, Gutter, is rooted in historical facts. So it's more than your opinion, and we used to just talk about this ad nauseum because we had to let the people be aware. And when we were talking about it at Straight Black Pride, everybody thought we was bugging and we was crazy. But here it is. Even when we talked about buck breaking, when I learned about buck breaking, I just thought he was beat in front of his family and in front of the plantation. I didn't know he
I,
was raped. That I didn't know until I got older and learned like, nah, it wasn't just a beat.
but that was in the I think that was in the Willie Lynch too.
Yeah, yeah, buck breaking, but they didn't. I don't think they.
No,
Maybe
it
that
was
was the
descriptive.
introduction to Plukum. Yeah,
Yeah, it was descriptive.
in
You
front of everybody.
time down, rape them in front of everybody. I mean, I don't know. Like when I read it, I was in jail, so I already knew when he talking about rape in front of everybody. I know.
Yeah, so I think I
I
read
already,
it
I
in
already knew what they
19.
was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right. In fact, I have a whole big poster of the Willie Lynch letter, and then I got the little pamphlet called "Let's Make a Slave," the Willie Lynch letter. When it gives the history, and then it gives his speech on the bank of the James River in Virginia. And he said it lasts for centuries. But Gutter, we coming down to our hour. That kind of flew by. Anything you want to lead the people with before we get up out of here?
Mm, like I said, man, like that's also it's not just the ants. That's the ancestors calling too.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when like they striking the flame, but nigga, get ready.
Spirit of Shango,
You know what I'm
it's fire.
saying?
Burn it
Yeah.
down.
But get ready.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying it ain't no warning just for them.
right,
It's a warning for us because like they know what it is.
right. So our clarion call to wake up. Yeah, because we see what's going on with so much right now. Because one of the things I'm gonna do my research too in Gutter is the trial of the Abercrombie and Fitch dude. Because I know his trial is coming up. I know they was trying to say he's incompetent to stand trial, but his joints is worse than Puff's joint. But it's funny how they sweeping that under the rug and they got Puff in our face
Oh,
the whole time, like he the only one wilding.
they're gonna always, bro. They're gonna show. You got to remember, all this shit is psychological. They're
Yes.
gonna show how depraved and animalistic a nigga can be.
Yeah.
Whereas, that should be on like the 6th page.
Yeah.
The white boy should be on like the 6th page.
With a small article.
In a joint like this.
Yeah.
So and so appeared for trial today.
Yeah. And it's funny that they try to vilify us all the time. The first time I ever really remember seeing that, right, Gutta, was with Sammy Davis Jr. right before he passed away. When he was on his deathbed, the news just started slandering him. And me as a young one, I was like, I thought they loved Sammy Davis Jr. But then that's the first time I ever noticed. And as time went on, I realized all of the people that they love, they don't let them go out with their bread. That's why I try to tell our people we got to be mindful of how we move around them folks.
They don't like the two things they hate is a rich nigga and an educated nigga.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's a fact.
And don't be both.
You out
they looking for a way.
Yeah. Well, they should be wrapping the trial up this week anyway, right?
Oh, shit, you got me, my nigga. I have no idea. I don't like this. This is my thing, bro. It's like you got my nigga on trial for being a freak.
Yeah.
Because all right, did they charge it? They charged him with assault on Cassie, right?
Nah, they saying trafficking. He's saying the RICO and trafficking.
That's the part I'm not getting. You know what I'm saying?
So
that
makes this trial so crazy and weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So,
but again, I think from the beginning when people were saying, because I think they set up the climate to come at Puff, because remember they was timing them into the Keefe D thing first. When they start just throwing your name around, you know they coming. Our sister K Fighter, she talked about this on Thorough Black Talk, I think a week or two before Puff got snatched up, but she talked about the function of each government agency, and she talked about the ATF, FBI, Department of Homeland Security. So it's funny that he got raided by Department of Homeland Security, but they create this environment to come after Puff. But remember, he was going after DeLagio, and everybody said that was crazy. But if people check the news right now, DeLagio is in court, but not selling tequila to people, selling bum ass juice to people, and people buying Casamigos and all that, and that stuff wasn't tequila; it was some bottom of the barrel bullshit.
yeah.
So a lot of this is real suspicious. It's real suspect.
I mean, it ain't. To be honest, it ain't that suspicious to me. It's that shit blatant as a motherfucker.
Right, but our peoples don't get it. You going after powerful people.
No, we love kicking a motherfucker too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, we definitely got to shake that.
Black America. Yeah,
I think all of us, black, white.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like us in particular, like we love it. Told you that nigga wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas, like we love that shit.
Word.
That's one of our biggest faults.
I always tell people it's hard for me to judge Puff because I don't know that man. Only been around him twice in my life. One at one of Big's video shoots and another one at a party he did in the casino. Other than that, I don't know that man personally to speak on him, and I definitely wasn't at none of those parties. You know, but people speak like they was there, Gutter. People speak matter of factly, like I know he did. How you know? You saw it? No, but
I went to, like, I think I went to 2 of the first white parties that was in the Hamptons. like I said, I'm not roaming around nigga cribs. I don't know what's going on. Nigga, I'm outside getting high as a kite. I smoke a lot of weed, my nigga. So I get high as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like I was my nigga, I'm gonna keep it real. Cause we smoked and ate brownies. Like I was so high, my nigga. I think we sat at the table like half of the time we was there, my nigga.
Just smoking.
Just smack yapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know the high talk, you know, like nigga, yo, wow, this shit is beautiful. Like we sitting out here, you know, damn, we looking at the beach, bro. High as a motherfucker, yapping, talking some bullshit. You feel me? Nigga, I'm not roaming in no nigga crib, especially high.
Right. And I think you said it's funny because you said that a long time ago. You said when I go to people's crib, I just sit in one spot because anything go missing, you ain't gonna say Gutta was here. Not around nobody crib.
I'm like,
and that's funny because I'm the same way. You invite me in your crib, I'm staying the places you said I could go. That's where I'm at. I'm in your living room, your kitchen. That's it. Not nobody bedroom.
That last one I think was 2000. Like that was the second one. That was two. I think one was 99, one was 2000. Because he was fucking with J Lo, the first one.
Oh yeah, that's.
And I don't think he was fucking with J Lo. That's what it was. And she had on a thong. Like I'm high. I'm like, damn, she got a wagon, my nigga. Getting high. I'm looking at her ass. I'm keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Dead ass. On the first in the Hamptons. Dead ass, like for about 2 hours. Nigga, I'm high looking at J-Lo ass. You know what I'm saying? And a few other asses, like she wasn't the only one that had thongs, but like nobody was naked, my nigga.
Right.
Like she had on a thong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you know a few.
And it's celebrity sale anyway. So you like,
so you know, you had a few skinny white chicks with no ass with thongs. Nigga wasn't paying them no mind at all.
Right.
Pale and no ass, you fuck out of here. But yeah, that's what niggas is doing. Like, are you? Then I can't. Like, I did that. Then I went to prison. I came home, and I wasn't even supposed to do it because I'm on parole. I was on paper. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm not on paper now, so they can't do shit to me. Right. But anyway, New Year's, I went to the New Year's Eve party going into 18.
Okay.
Going into 18.
So what party Tasha K said you was at?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't been to, oh no, and then he had it because in Cali, he got a club in his house after the BET Awards. And I went with C's and Fizzy.
Was that last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Okay.
BET Awards few years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, I hope this trial is over. We could definitely revisit it because I see they put your code D in there and everything, you know. So
yeah, it's crazy, my nigga.
Let's see how this thing, you know. I definitely want to shout everybody out though that tuned in and rocked out with us. My brother, Professor Carl Tone Jones, our sister Farnessa, Queen Anusa, our brother Big Ma in the house. You know what I'm saying? Who else rocking with us? We got so many folks. Sister Electra, good looking out for tapping in. Our brother Rich Nice, can't forget Rich Nice. And definitely, I'll be remiss if I don't mention my sister, K Fighter, Thorough Black Talk, Worldview. Check us out every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. And we keep saying, Gutta, me and sister Keisha keep saying, we got to get you on the show one Thursday night, man. We keep saying that. Just let us know when the Thursday is good for you, man. Come through it.
I'm fucked up right now. Every Thursday is good. I ain't doing too much moving.
I know, right. right. You just had the surgery.
Yeah.
Yo, so we want to thank everybody for rocking out with us. Shout out to the Playback Gang. Like, subscribe, share, hit that bell, get notified every time we go live. Now that the weather's breaking, me and Gutta gonna be outside. All right. So y'all stay blessed, stay true. Thank y'all for rocking out. Peace.